Imagine waking up at 3 a.m. to a thunderstorm that sounds like the end of the world. While everyone else is pulling their blankets tighter and praying the Wi-Fi doesn't cut out, your phone is screaming. You've got to get dressed, drive into a gale force wind, and climb a 100-foot wet wooden pole while holding enough electricity to turn a human being into a charcoal briquette. Welcome to life as a power line worker. A job where your office has no walls, your chair's a leather harness, and one bad day at work doesn't mean a stern talking to from HR. It means an unscheduled trip to the afterlife. And if you think you're afraid of heights, wait until you're afraid of heights and electricity at the same time. That's a premium fear package. The kind that makes your palms sweat inside gloves, rated for 20,000 volts. Because yes, that line next to your elbow, it's carrying enough electricity to power thousands of homes. One mistake, and you don't just have a bad day. You become a bullet point in next week's safety meeting. Nice you've made it to orientation. Right here goes nothing. You start before sunrise. Storm rolled through last night, trees down, lines snapped. Entire neighborhoods sitting in the dark, watching their phone battery drop like a countdown to panic. While everyone else complains about Wi-Fi, you're layering up in 40 pounds of gear, fire-resistant clothing, rubber gloves thick enough to wrestle a bear, climbing spikes, harness, tools hanging off you like you lost a bet at a hardware store. Coffee, optional. Adrenaline, mandatory. Powerline work consistently ranks among the most dangerous jobs in the US, with fatality rates several times higher than the average occupation. That's not trivia. That's context. You don't clock in casually. You clock in aware. You arrive at the site. A utility pole leaning slightly, like it's questioning its life choices. Bucket truck can't reach. Flooded road. Of course it is. So you're climbing. Strap on spikes. Wrap your belt around the pole. Step, thunk, slide. Repeat. Don't look down, you look down. Regret. Cars look like toys. People look theoretical. Your stomach briefly submits a resignation letter. Halfway up, wind picks up. The pole sways just enough to remind you that gravity is undefeated. Your heart starts speedrunning cardio. But you trust your gear. You trust your training. The journey is perilous, but you keep going, trusting your natural instincts. At the top, you secure yourself and meet the reason you're here. A snapped conductor line dangling like metallic spaghetti. It's de-energized, supposedly. You tested it. Your partner tested it. Control confirmed. Still, you treat it like it's personally offended. Electricity doesn't care about your confidence. You strip insulation, splice cable, secure connectors. Every movement slow and deliberate. Gloves make your fingers feel like you're tying knots with oven mitts. Below you, someone inevitably asks, "How long till the power's back?" while standing dangerously close to a puddle that could conduct their curiosity straight into the afterlife. You resist sarcasm. Customer service at 100 feet. Summer arrives and turns the job into a sauna simulator. Heat index over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. You're in long sleeves because arc flashes aren't seasonal. Sweat pours. Boots become portable steam rooms. Meanwhile, everyone's blasting AC, pushing the grid to its limits. Transformers pop. Lines overload. Guess who gets called? You. Again. Winter isn't kinder. Ice coats lines in a glittery death grip. Pretty from a distance. Terrifying up close. Ice adds weight. Lines sag. Poles snap. You're out there at 2 a.m., breath fogging in your headlamp beam, prying frozen hardware loose with hands that can't feel their own existence. A branch cracks in the dark, and you flinch because you're wired to expect the worst. Then comes the moment. You finish the repair. Dispatch re-energizes the line. There's a hum, a subtle vibration. Lights flicker back on miles away. A kid cheers because the TV revived. A fridge kicks back to life. Maybe even a hospital wing stabilizes. And you're still double-checking bolts. No applause, just wind. When your job is done perfectly, no one notices you existed. Electricity is invisible until it's gone. So are you. The real enemy isn't just weather. It's complacency. Climb, secure, repair, descend. Do it enough times and your brain whispers, "You've got this." That's when mistakes sneak in. So you run safety checks like it's your first day. Test before touch. Keep minimum approach distances. Wear the PPE even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. An arc flash can hit temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun in a split second. You don't get a warning beep, you get consequences. Big disasters turn shifts into endurance events. Hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, entire regions dark. You travel in convoys of utility trucks, an army of reflective vests. 12-hour shifts stretch into 16. Hotels are full or non-existent. You nap in the truck. Live on gas station food. Your family texts, "Are you safe?" You reply hours later because you just came down from a pole in sideways rain. Exhaustion whispers sweet promises about quitting. But the grid isn't fixed yet. You've seen wildlife living rent-free on infrastructure. Birds nesting on crossarms. Raccoons way too high for comfort. Shoes mysteriously hanging from lines like trophies. You've also seen what happens when someone disrespects electricity. Burned metal, blackened equipment. Quiet stories passed down to rookies so they understand without being terrified. Respect the line every time. Physically, it's a grind. Shoulders ache from hauling cable, knees complain from climbing. Your back drafts angry emails nightly. You stretch, you tape. You learn that ibuprofen is a personality trait. But you also get strong in a way that feels earned, not gym strong, functional strong. The kind built by balancing on a bucket while wrestling a cable thicker than your wrist. And somehow, despite all of it, there's beauty. Sunrises from the top of a transmission tower. The world quiet below, just you and miles of grid stretching across the horizon. It's almost peaceful, until the radio crackles, because electricity never sleeps. You drive past neighborhoods you restored and see porch lights glowing. You know you did that. Nobody throws confetti. But you know. Your crew knows. There's pride in being the reason darkness didn't last. But don't romanticize it too much. Tomorrow might involve a car wrapped around a pole because someone thought texting was more important than steering. Or maintenance on a high-voltage line, where you step onto a live conductor in a specialized suit, equalizing electrical potential so you don't become a human sparkler. Controlled, calculated, still slightly unhinged. Lunch breaks, flexible, bathrooms, strategic, weather apps, checked like exam results. Humor gets darker than the storm clouds you work under. You name sketchy poles. You make bets on how many times someone will ask when the power's coming back. You celebrate finishing before the next downpour hits. And then there's your crew, the people you trust with your life. Literally, they ground the line, operate the bucket, watch your back while you focus. Communication is sharp. No ego allowed at 100 feet. You mess up, you own it. They mess up, you help fix it. It's a team sport played vertically. Yes, it sucks. It sucks when holidays get interrupted by outages. It sucks missing family events because a storm decided to audition for chaos. It sucks when you're exhausted and there's still one more pole to climb. It sucks when your gloves are soaked and your boots weigh as much as regret. But then you crest the top of a pole at dawn, city lights fading as power returns, and you remember why you're here. Not because it's easy, not because it's safe, but because it matters. Finally, you descend. Boots hit the ground, harness unclipped. Another line secure, another neighborhood glowing again. You peel off heavy gloves and look up at the wires stretching across the sky like metallic highways. Most people will never think about them. They'll flip a switch and expect magic. You know better. It's not magic, it's sweat. It's discipline. It's teamwork. It's climbing into the sky while the rest of the world stays safely on the ground. So yeah, it sucks to be a power line worker. It's dangerous. It's uncomfortable. It's unpredictable. You trade comfort for responsibility and sleep for storms. But when the grid falters and the world goes dark, you're the one who climbs toward the danger instead of away from it. And that low hum when the lights come back on, that's not just electricity, that's you. Still standing, still climbing, still crazy enough to do it all again tomorrow.